Thank you. Our next speaker is Michal Schiffer, Senior Democratic Staffer on the prestigious Senate Foreign Relations Committee and a former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for East Asia, a position close to my heart.
Well, thank you very much, and it's nice to hear the Senate Foreign Relations Committee referred to as prestigious still these days. If I can ask from our friends in the press who are in the room, as a staff member, if you can consider my remarks to be on background, as I would like to continue to be a staff member. And I also want to pass on regards from Senator Menendez from New Jersey, who is the ranking member on the committee. He wishes that he could have been here with you this morning, but know that he is certainly thinking about all of your families and about the fate of the abductees in North Korea. Briefly, and I don't think as a surprise to anybody here, you know, there's a deep bipartisan commitment to human rights in North Korea, not just for the suffering of the people of North Korea, but also for the fate of the Japanese abductees and Americans who have been unjustly imprisoned and worse by the regime in Pyongyang. And I think it's fair to say that for members of Congress, if we can't characterize the regime in Pyongyang as evil, then the word evil has no meaning anymore. And so that is a commitment that I think that you can expect to see continue. It's been one that we have demonstrated and exhibited across Congresses controlled by both Democrats and Republicans, and with administrations with both Democrats and Republicans in the White House. We view it as our role to keep the administration's feet to the fire, to make sure that these issues receive the attention that they deserve. As was mentioned, we've passed resolutions for David Snedden. We've passed resolutions for Otto. Truly heartbreaking situation, and I mean, I have nothing but admiration for you and your family. It's, well, words fail me. We have also made sure, and increasingly so in the past several years, to include human rights issues in the sanctions legislation that Congress has passed. And to include statutory requirements now, starting with the North Korean Sanctions Enhancement Act in 2016, that will not allow U.S. or international sanctions to be rolled back completely unless there is concrete action by North Korea to address human rights issues, including the fate of the abductees. And I think that is a commitment that you can expect to see Congress continue to hold to. One can imagine any number of paths for diplomacy with North Korea. But for me, and I think for my boss, and I dare say on this issue, I feel safe in speaking for members on both sides of my committee, it's impossible to imagine a solution for the North Korea challenge that does not include resolution of human rights, does not address the fate of the abductees, and does not include justice for Americans who have been victims of this regime. And so for my Japanese friends, let me finish up by noting that, you know, we take our alliance and our partnership with Japan with utmost seriousness. In every discussion that we have with the administration, members, both sides of the aisle, House and Senate, make sure to emphasize how important it is that in any engagement with North Korea, that Japanese equities, including the fate of the abductees, are taken into account. And that's something that we will continue to keep our eye on and something that we will continue to pay attention to. So thank you.